Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is a general or collective reading, so parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I have posted what was going on in your life back then, that might give you further clarity as to your situation now. I already did a quick meditation and have the underlying energy for the reading from the tarot and from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is representing traditional structure, justice coming in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And this represents, if you're a religious person, the people that lead your church, your religion. This could be Pope, Cardinal, Bishop, the people at the top there, rabbis, gurus. And if you're more of a spiritual person, this could represent the energy of meditation and prayer, and also of going directly to source without an intermediary. This energy is talking about justice comes down from the spiritual down to the physical, into the traditional structures of the lawmakers and the laws of the countries in the world. And this is the High Priestess energy. So the High Priestess is one of the dragonflies in the tarot. And dragonflies are intimately connected to the dragon energy. They embody the power of flight and mastery of life on the wing. And they have unique flight patterns that were copied actually to build helicopters. They are able to hover. They're able to perform complex aerial maneuvers as well as just going straight up and down. And they use the power of light to awaken, the truth within people. And so this energy is talking about one of the dragonflies in the oracle. She's representing the High Priestess. And this is about having joy because of being able to use your intuition. All right, so this is about using your intuition along with the Hierophant. We have the Eight of Wands energy. The Eight of Wands represents the element of fire. This is talking about passionate action. Wood fuels fire, creating the passion. And this is saying that something has been launched. It actually represents conception of a project. Maybe there's something that you're thinking about bringing into the world here, like something new that you want to work on. Sometimes this can actually talk about conception of a child. So understand that at this time you are highly fertile and a powerful manifester. If you don't want to create a baby, then be careful of that energy. Look after it. This is talking about feeling like you're left out in the cold. So this is talking about isolation. This could be isolation. Maybe that is why the Hierophant is bringing in justice. You notice the Hierophant has his hand in the form of a blessing, his right hand. And that is talking about if you're on the right side of the law, this is a blessing coming in. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, it is actually going to be, basically you've been found out. And this energy is talking about tactics sometimes being used to put people into isolation, sometimes through illegal means. All the snow here is talking about snowflakes. Snowflakes, they're really pretty when they start, but when they pile up, and there's a whole bunch of them, they can become very heavy to shovel and to deal with, and can collapse your entire house. There's only 5 pentacles here. Pentacles in tarot, there's 10 available. And they represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. Of course, the element is earth, and this is about earthly matters. So money matters in earthly matters, bringing matter, turning thoughts into matter. And this is talking about, there's only 5 pentacles between the two of them. It's not enough to sustain a home, to have a good lifestyle. And that's ultimately what the Pentacles are about. You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your family and you don't have any enough coins, you're not going to be living a good lifestyle. Now, this is talking about this person is out in the cold, in the snow, without any shoes even, and this one's on crutches. So this energy he's wearing a plague bell. And the plague bells would be used in the old days before they had apps to isolate people when there was plagues, etc. going around. If you were suspected of carrying something, you would be forced to wear this big heavy bell. And then people would be able to hear you coming and run when you showed up, which, as you can imagine, would make it very challenging to, really earn a living of any way or even participate in society. Quite often, this, as I said, can be about tactics being used to put someone in this position for whatever reason. Sometimes, though, this isolation can be God's protection. Rejection sometimes is God's protection. So this is talking about a tower hitting. Yeah, it's not surprising when we have the Hierophant that there would be a tower hitting. The Hierophant, as I said, is responsible for bringing law and order into the 3D. Now, the tower is usually something that we could have nipped in the bud, possibly. Your intuition starts off like the universe will say to you, whisper to you, hey, you might want to take a look at that. And you don't hear. So then the universe says, hey, whack over the head with the frying pan treatment. And you're like, why did you do that? That hurt. And you're like, and the universe is saying, pay attention. There's something you need to pay attention to. But you still don't, and you get the 2x4, and then eventually the lightning hits the tower. It's your castle's on fire now, the crown's off the turret, and we have 2 people falling out of it. It's in flames. Basically, this is going to have to be something that has to be rebuilt. So it's better to avoid the tower, the reality check, for it to get to this point. But it's not uncommon for towers to hit. They're very uncomfortable. It doesn't matter if you're on the right side of the law or the wrong side of the law. The towers are always uncomfortable for everyone involved. One of the people here is shocked and the other one is like, oh man, I knew I should have taken care of this, but they're both homeless. You see, that's the energy. So this is talking about eventually, though, if you're on the right side of the law, this will be a blessing. You'll look back on it maybe, sometime later and you'll say, wow, I was really actually lucky that happened because I needed that reality check. If you're on the wrong side of the law, well, it probably wasn't a favorable outcome for you. And then we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is talking about an authority figure. So the Hierophant energy might be, consulting with an Emperor, or you could be the Emperor. It's hard to say as of yet in this reading. The Emperor is all about performance. This is like high-level performance. He's got his armor on underneath his robe, and this is pure alpha male energy. He wears his armor under his robe because at a moment's notice, he wants to be able to grab onto an opportunity if one comes by. And if he has to get up to fight, he will. But he rarely does have to get up to fight because he's an alpha male, and the beta males, they know that he will clean their clock. And so he is rarely, it's rare for people to come up against him. He's considered to be very wise, and whatever he's doing, he's going to be at the top of it. The Emperor can sometimes be a bit controlling, my way or the highway kind of energy. So we don't quite know what all is going on here. We know that something has been launched, some sort of actions. It looks like it's directed to this energy that already is like, this is talking about people that have been left out in the cold. They feel, that are not able to participate in society. We have this energy of a tower hitting, and the Emperor who's in his element. Now the Hierophant and the High Priestess are talking from the spiritual realm, this coming down to the physical. And we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords energy is some sort of information, communication coming in. The pages would work for the king and queen around 7 to 14. That may sound really young, but in the old days, people only lived, about half the lifespan that we have now. So, they would get to work earlier. This would be a huge coup for someone to get a position with the, with the court, with the king and the queen. Because he's dressed in finery and he would be educated, and if they were adapting well to the position, they would be given more and more responsibility. And if they were still there when they were an adult at 21, they would sometimes even be considered for knighthood if they could afford their own horse. And so this energy is talking about some sort of communication coming in. It's regarding the element of air. And so the element of air is represented, it's your thoughts, and your thoughts are represented by the sword, which is showing your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. This is a double-edged sword. One edge is logic, and the other edge is your intuition. So the Page of Swords, he's the only one who's not totally focused on his element in the diagram. He already knows the logical answer, and he's turned away from the logic now, and he's thinking outside the box. He wants to think about, let go of the thinking and feel for an intuitive answer. This card can sometimes represent communication coming in. Sometimes this represents a spy energy. It can represent technology being used, like hidden cameras. This could be hidden mics. It could be, spy energy, kind of investigators, private detectives, some sort of energy in that. But it also can talk about coming from within. And this could be like a breath of fresh air that comes up, and it's like, aha, I have it. An idea that comes to you, and it's like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I needed to know. That type of energy. And it's not uncommon if you're on the right side of the law with a tower moment for this aha moment to come, because your intuition's been telling you something's wrong, but you just haven't been able to really get a real grip on it. So when the information comes in the old days, this energy would always be by a male, but you have to remember that the oracle and tarot cards are they're not gender specific. They're talking about the energy of masculine and feminine energy. So this could be a woman or young woman in her masculine energy, and the male figures can be females in their masculine energy, females can be in their males that are in their masculine energy, feminine energy. Yikes. Get your head together here, Colette. Sorry. And then, so this is talking, I'm just reading the cards here, and something just kind of came to me here about this energy. So, don't be waiting around for someone to show up on your doorstep, a page dressed, here's a message. This can come in by phone call, a text message. It could be an email. It could be something that arrives in the mail, documents. It could be something that you see advertised somewhere. This could represent the energy of being on a social media platform, being messaged, possibly seeing an event posted, and then at that event you attend it and you meet someone there. So the universe has a lot of different ways of having us get in touch with each other when it's meant to happen. Sometimes it's always a good idea to pay even just a few minutes a day attention to what's happening at the top of the pyramid with the leaders of countries and what's going on at the top, at the world. Because quite often that energy, of course, is going to trickle down to the bottom of the pyramid, and the bottom of the pyramid also does affect that energy at the top. You might pick up trends or ideas for business or whatever you're working on by just taking that time to do that. We do have the sun here. So the sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's representing God's energy along with the high priestess. This is joyful, happy energy. So this is really awesome. This energy is talking about, you know, you as a child of God, being meant to be, you're meant to be happy, not in this energy. This is talking about all the sunflowers, the heads turned towards the sun to absorb the warmth of the sun and the nurturing of the sun. This banner represents your life path and your destiny. And this young child is riding this pony, totally fearless, no reins, no saddle, just bareback. This is saying how you're meant to be, like confident and happy and free. And then we have not like this. And so, yeah, I feel like sometimes when this energy is coming in, this can be like really a good thing, like you have a real great idea, like, aha, you know, like I said. But I feel like this is the actions of others being directed, because it's pointing straight to this energy, especially now with this here, you know, like this energy here. The nine of, you know, the Nine of Swords, this information coming in could have enlightened you in some way. I feel like what's happening here is some energy from other people has been directed to you, and quite a bit. There's been actions taken against you to put you in this energy. A tower hits. The tower is necessary. God is sitting on the tower, and he's sitting on your energy. This tower is going to expose what's been happening here to the emperor, or the emperor could be involved, or you could be the emperor. We don't quite know yet. But some sort of justice comes in because of this. So this is talking about this energy of this information coming in, and you know, being in a position where you are praying and meditating, and asking God for assistance. And this is God showing up here. And this is saying, you know, this card can represent a never-ending nightmare, something that keeps repeating and it's not stopping and you don't know how to get out of it. It's just like really a nightmare. But sometimes it can be about God shining light on a situation by giving you the information of what's happening to put you in this position, and letting you know a tower is going to hit, and then an emperor, an authority figure, is investigating this. That's what I feel it is. So I feel that that's what this is talking about. This can represent someone who wakes up in the wee hours of the morning. The Holy Spirit has shared information, maybe when you're in that zone between being awake and asleep, and you're like trying to remember it. Or this could even be something that happens in a dream. And sometimes you'll have those real, you know, lifelike dreams. And this could be someone, you trying to remember what the steps of action you were taken, like what you were shown in that dream. This is the quilt on the bed is saying that the universe has you covered. And these are cosmic symbols here. But you are going to have to get out of bed. You're going to have to leave your comfort zone. You're going to have to get up and take some sort of, you know, initiative here. We have, this is saying you've been isolated long enough. And I also am getting definitely that this is saying that this rejection was God's protection. This energy coming towards you, if you would have associated with that energy any longer, it would have gone very, like, there'd be, it would be very difficult to separate yourself from that energy and be able to move forward. This is talking about the Hanged Man is hanging from the tree of knowledge. And now that he has the information, he's hanging there, and he's hanging in with God. And I feel the High Priestess energy. She sits next to the throne of God. And, you know, she sorts through the information just like this energy here. She knows the logical question. She's sitting in between the two pillars. And she is, the two pillars represent Jesus and the devil. And all of the information in between, it's coming towards her, and she has to sort through it and find, okay, what would be the logical, you know, maybe she'll find 10 logical solutions. Okay, I could do this, I could do this. Now, which one of those? She stops thinking and she feels. What is her body telling her? Your central nervous system which is your brain, and the other component, your spine, and the other components, though the sensations it produces will let you know if you're in alignment with a choice or you're not. And you can train that and start noticing it. You'll be able to feel, that's the answer I'm going to go with. Because they all could be logically sound, but maybe there's one that would be better in your situation, in your particular circumstances, and that's the one that you should choose, and you will have the best result. And so I feel that's the energy here. And once you figure that out, then you logically apply that answer. And usually the result will be a creative solution that will be, it brings joy, because it's like, finally, this is settled. So when the aura gets bright, the hanged man comes down from the tree. Aha, I have it. And with help from the divine, I'm going to move forward and take the action that I was shown here. And we have, this is talking about putting that energy to rest, basically. This is talking about putting your mind to rest, hanging your mind, your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind on the wall, and allowing yourself just to feel. And this is representing being in a church that you are wanting to feel for the energy rather than think about it. And that energy, when it comes together, we have PAX on the word PAX, P-A-X, on the stained glass window, and that's representing peace of mind. Quiet the mind so that you can feel through meditation and prayer. And look at this again. We have this saying, this could be coming back. This could be coming in from your childhood. Quite often, this card is also talking about respite. Like, do you see here how I feel they went into the church, and you, if this is your energy, you went into the church to meditate and pray, and you were given this enlightenment. And it's talking about your subconscious mind, which is formed by the time you're 6 or 7. And we don't have a lot of memory of that time frame, especially when you're a baby, yet we're like sponges and we absorb it like a lot. And it's actually the energy of the people in charge of our care, our parents and others, and the environment that they provide for us. So whatever culture they are, what religion they follow, even the food you eat, the way they approach life, how they feel about money, all of that is absorbed at a very high level. And when you become an adult, it's heavily imprinted on you from about the age of 6 or 7. Yet, so when we get upset, we tend to rely on the subconscious mind. It's the first one that pops up. It's been around the longest, but it's not always the most reliable, because it's not necessarily our thoughts. It could be the thoughts of other people telling us what we were like when we were a child. And we have the unconscious mind, and that is talking about your spiritual needs. And, a lot of people agree, yes, I'm a human being with a soul, but from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body as your vehicle for navigating Earth. And if the soul's needs are not met, it will start arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind being what you do have recall of, and you have memory. You can clearly tell people, okay, this is what happened. This energy, when the three of these work together, that quiets the mind. And you can train your mind to be quiet. Just be quiet. I want to feel the sensations coming from my brain. A lot of times people will confuse their brain with their mind and their mind with their brain. The brain is your central nervous system, and the sensations are, when something happens to us, even if we can't remember the details from when we were young, it's imprinted on our physical memory, like our body remembers psychosomatically. And so we can, we'll feel if there's a weakness or something that happened that we're out of alignment with. And so it's about using that energy to really feel, and then plugging the quiet mind into your heart and going with that solution. When you plug into your heart, then you have your heart's desires, your authentic desires, your destined path as a child. And that's what this person is doing here. And I feel again here. And I do feel that in this instance, there could have been something that happened in your early childhood that you maybe don't remember that is holding you back in life. And it could be talking about this energy being cleared now. We have this action coming towards you. And then we have you asking for assistance from the divine. And this is receiving information. Okay, then you sort through it. And this is about when you are in this position, you know, this adult and child with no baggage can represent healing that inner child, whatever has happened when we were children, and that's imprinted on our subconscious mind, that is maybe holding us back from being able to move forward in the strongest way. And so this is about wanting to leave the chaos and the volatile and mixed emotions and go to calmer shores with God. The conveyor is using this big long pole to push us off, like, because the, you know, he has to dig deep into the mud to get out of that rough water. And this is about taking that healing journey, you know, and training your mind, and then being able to, all of this energy is about not taking action until you are ready to. And sometimes this can even be like you may need to rest. And the Page of Swords, this information comes in. I feel that the Hierophant gets the Emperor to deal with whatever the reality check is, whatever this action that was taken. So this is a pretty interesting reading. I do hope that you've enjoyed it up to this point. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really appreciate it. I'm going to clarify this with my oracle. And the numbers on these cards represent the numbers of the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So we have the Chariot. So this is saying that this definitely is happening on the spiritual level. The High Priestess and the Hierophant are making sure that this energy it's already in the making. There's already forward movement dealing with this action here. Sometimes the Chariot, it's like a tank. It's like it runs over obstacles once you're on it. You're on your destined path. It's saying it's already happening in the spiritual realm, and the justice is coming down to earth plane. And it's also talking about sometimes this can represent law enforcement coming in to arrest people or indictments, that sort of energy for something that has been done. Now we have the Empress energy on top of this energy. And I feel like this, like, it's kind of interesting because I'm still not certain about this Emperor. And now that there's an Empress here, is this a couple, a power couple coming together to bring this justice in? Or is this talking about an emperor seeing you as an empress now because of everything you've been through and because you've done all this work? And I feel like I feel like the emperor was maybe the one who is investigating this, and he's in a position of authority to stop, you know, to bring justice to this situation on a spiritual and a physical level here. But this is bringing it down to the physical. And now he sees you as an empress, because the empress and the emperor energy are from the major arcana. And it's basically like the empress would be all four queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And it's like a status that you achieve when you've been through a lot in life and you've handled it, you've stayed on your destined path, you've done your best to do so. And it's elevated you to this high manifestation level of the Empress energy. And I feel like this could even be the Emperor is like recognizing you now. Maybe the Emperor is single. And this turns out to be like a happy relationship at some point. Or it could be just someone that he's going to empower you to get back up on your feet and have the justice you deserve to do so. This energy of the people that were foolish and went on this foolish journey to put you in this energy, they had expectations that they would not be caught, and they were incorrect. Anytime you have expectations, it will create limitations for you. The truth is always eventually going to come out. It always, always does. And especially, we have God shining light on the situation. That's what, right in the middle of all of this, is God saying, hey, this rejection was for your protection, because these people did not have good intentions towards you. So when they rejected you, that was what was needed so that the justice can come in, so you would be separate from them when it does. And the hangman is here both times. So this could be, this could have taken quite a long time. You may have been like hanging in there kind of energy. But it's also talking about that you took the time to, a part of that was because it took you all this time to be able to come to kind of like a resolution with the truth within yourself before it became part of the third dimensional world. They say God doesn't give us more than we can handle, and I feel that's why. So we have, there could be sibling rivalry involved in this. So this could be people that were in your inner circle. Sibling rivalry sometimes can just represent, we're all children of God. And so it could be people, it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual sibling, but it would be someone that you consider to be like family, or someone in your inner circle. And it's also talking about they were very jealous of you and willing to take these actions against you to put you in this very challenging position. And this is, an energy for you. You have to get to the point where you'd say, I'd rather be better than bitter. Like, I'd rather know the truth about the situation, and as hard as the truth can be to hear, and so I can move forward in my life. And then we have superstar. So your life becomes in harmony. This is actually sing to your heart's content. So this is talking about having harmony back in your life again once this process, and that you are a star and you're meant to shine, and you are a child of God and you're meant to be happy. The energy here, and look at the mother's worry. This has been coming up a lot. I feel that this has to do with, you might have a mother that is worried about you, but I feel like that a lot of people, like they call the earth Mother Earth, and there's a lot of people right now that are really having a challenging time with the way things are happening on the earth. Like, there's a lot going on, and I feel like a lot of people are in a state of worry. And you may have noticed when you're in this state of worry, it doesn't do you any good. And the worst thing actually a mother can do is worry about a child, because so if you are worrying about your children, just turn that over to God as well, because worrying about them, if you can't see a strong future for them, who's going to? So I feel that's the advice in this reading, because we do have this energy of the High Priestess. This is like Mother Mary energy, and she sits on the throne next to God. So I hope you've enjoyed this. This is a random shift energy. I never know quite what is going to come up. This is really good advice, for if you're in a situation where it's too much to handle, turn to the Most High and, ask for assistance. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment if you have. I really would appreciate it. It helps me to build my channel. Also, consider subscribing. I'm honored when you do so. Bye for now.